Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I am Vihil Vigil, International Women's Empowerment Business Coach and founder and CEO of the Empowerment Empire, your admin for this fantastic Facebook group, which we all love. And I love trying to find our Facebook group because all I have to do is type in Jefas and it pops right up. There are a handful of Latina entrepreneur Facebook groups out there, couple of empowered women Facebook groups out there, but when I'm looking for this group in particular, I just got to type a few things and I'm in. And I just love that about this group. So welcome to day 2 of our Confidence Masterclass. And today we are going to be diving into some of the meat of our presentation. Yesterday we talked a lot about what the program was going to be looking like over the course of these 3 days, what you get to win as a partaker in the program. So we'll go ahead and we'll review a bit from yesterday and what we talked about, as well as go over our presentation for today. So welcome to this free confidence masterclass. I have not done a free program in this group for a while, and I really wanted to do that, especially as we are coming into the latter part of this year, where we know that we have a lot of people come into our lives. We have a lot of family that we are about to encounter, a lot of friends gather. It's a wonderful opportunity for business mixers. People are doing lots of holiday parties. And in these settings and in these environments, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed. And it's easy to feel like you don't have the confidence to measure up to all the other people in the room. And I want to be the first to say, absolutely, you measure up. You are absolutely phenomenal. And if I am the only voice of inspiration and confidence boosting for you today, so be it. I see that as a huge honor and a great responsibility. I want to be able to share with you the excitement of knowing that you have the ability to accomplish your goals and to accomplish your dreams. And we do this by all of the programs created and delivered to you through the Empowerment Empire, through Therapeutic Empowerment, through wonderful Facebook groups like this one, where we come together to inspire one another, to support one another, and to help one another achieve these goals and these dreams that we look forward to on a consistent basis. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. But first, let's talk about like we did yesterday. There will be prizes for those of you who are interested in receiving a copy of the book. And I just happen to have a brand new copy because I have been selling out. I like to pre-order these so that I can sign them and I could put some great inspirational tidbits inside. So the 100 Fantastic Affirmations to Inspire You, one of my favorite books that I read to my little girl who inspired the creation of the book. So one of the winners of this program, this free program, will receive a copy of the book shipped out to you wherever you're at. And then also we are giving away $1,000 gift card, gift certificate, credit, voucher, however you want to say, I'm giving away $1,000 to put towards any program provided by the Empowerment Empire, whether that be one of my intensive coaching programs, or whether that be of some of the smaller programs where you can just download PDFs and videos and do a self-paced course. So there's a bunch of fun options. Then of course, on Friday, we are going to be doing our pitch competition. For any of you phenomenal entrepreneurs who are interested in participating in that pitch competition, the winner of that will also receive a copy of the book, will also receive $1,000 credit at the Empowerment Empire, and you will be the winner of one of our tickets to attend one of the 4 2023 Business Women of Diversity Power Luncheons, which are going to be held throughout the United States. We are looking at for October, or not October, but for March 9th of 2023, we have a Power Luncheon established in Northern California in Sacramento. And then we are looking at hosting one in Boston. We are looking at hosting one in New York. And we are looking at hosting one in Florida so that we can reach a lot of the regions where so many of you phenomenal women are located. So let's get to the sharing of the presentation. Yesterday, we did a lot of sharing on where I came from in regards to needing confidence boosting. And I think it's important to recognize that there are so many times in our lives when we will have our confidence levels brought down. And there will be times in our lives when we will need extra assistance to boost our confidence level back up. Let's just make sure that this is sharing. I've got a weird thing on my screen. All right. If you are live, you are watching us live, please post in the comments if you can see. It looks like the pause. So let's go back. Just one moment. We're having some technical difficulty. I want to make sure. Yep, it looks like we are not seeing the share screen. So let's go ahead and redo that. Okay. One more time. Looks like we had too much stuff going on. All right, now let's present. I have been known to freeze up my computers by moving too quickly. Okay, oh, there we go. There we go. Resume the share. So it looks like our screen sharing is not working. All right, give me just 1 second. We will make this happen. So let's go ahead and pause that. Let's refresh our page, right? It's always like unplug, replug, press start again, and let's do a do-over. Okay, let's see where we are at now. Because we don't give up. Hello, good morning, Patricia. Buenos dias. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but we are underway. Right, let's see here. Let's go back there. I think I have too many screens open, so we are going to just keep pushing through. All right, let's go back to our Zoom and see if we can share the screen now. Great. Okay, so it looks like we are doing our screen share, but as soon as I go to present, for some reason it gets a little bit wonky, but let's try it one more time. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and have you see the presentation this way because we need to move forward. All right, so you're seeing the screen, which is totally fine. So as we are going through day 2 of the Confidence Masterclass, I just want to, as I was saying, remind you all that it is so very important that we understand there will be times in our lives when our confidence levels are shot down for one reason or another, and we will consistently have to find ways to build ourselves back up. Now, hopefully, when we surround ourselves with people who are more supportive of our work, of our personalities, of who we are as people, that happens less and less. But we will always find ourselves in a place where perhaps we need a confidence boost, that we we feel a little inadequate. Maybe it's been a while since we've had a confidence boost. And so I want to give you today some really important tips and tricks and strategies to be able to counter those situations and those feelings of inadequacy, those feelings of a lack of confidence. We're going to try one more time to see if Zoom will let us share. So it looks like every time we go to share the screen, it kills our... Okay, well, I guess that's going to just have to work for now. All right. So yesterday's presentation, let's refresh this. Yesterday's presentation is now available on our new YouTube channel at the Empowerment Empire. I will go ahead and post this link here in the live chat so that you are able to go there and have a watch of the presentation for yesterday's. So there's that. Now let's get back to our presentation. Okay. Today is our day 2, Wednesday, November 2nd. Tomorrow will be our final day for the Free Confidence Masterclass. And then, of course, on Friday is when we are going to be doing our pitch competition. So as we know, confidence opens so many doors in life for professionals, for business owners, and for entrepreneurs. In this free masterclass, it is very important to me that I provide information such as this to you phenomenal women, because I believe that you deserve to know how phenomenal you are, that you have the ability to build up your confidence levels. And there are certain things that we can do to help us counteract all of the things that may occur during a day or during a week of our lives that might sort of beat down on our confidence. So day 1, we recap, we talked about what do you think you could accomplish more of with greater self-confidence? What exactly is confidence or a lack thereof? Those feelings of inadequacy or those feelings of, you know exactly who you are, what you're providing out to the world, who you are as a person, as a parent, as a professional. And then we talked about 3 things that I do to get through the feelings of low confidence. And that is really centered around preparation. Though, of course, as we experienced this morning, you cannot always counteract technical difficulties, and that's okay. What we do is we just roll through it. It's not like the house is coming down, and I really like to be able to make sure that when we are presenting, when we are providing an educational program, that we are able to push through. So I'm checking on. Okay, good. You can see my presentation. Wanted to make sure of that. So today we're going to go over 5 steps to help build and strengthen your confidence, and 5 steps to eliminate your insecurities and elevate your confidence. Feel free throughout the course of this presentation to take screenshots if you like, to post photos. There will be winner for the most engaged. There will be a winner for those that are posting and sharing this on Instagram. We are moving over a lot of our programs to the platform. So if you take a screenshot, share it over to Instagram at empowering Vihil, Vihil, and tag me in it. Then we will be able to count that as one of your submissions for being considered for one of the winners of our awesome prizes. So there is that. I want to invite in as many women as possible to become more confident through the help of this free masterclass, because it is so very important that we know how to protect ourselves and advance ourselves in this life through confidence, through being sure of yourself, of what it is that you know you can accomplish, is where you will accomplish so many amazing and great things. And no matter what happens or gets in your way in this life, you know that you can still push forth, accomplish those dreams, accomplish those goals. You have this phenomenal group here supporting you. And if you're feeling a lack of the ability to make things happen, then you need to reach out. Have the small bit of confidence to be able to reach out and say, I need help. I need assistance. Reach out to me as your admin of this group, as a women's empowerment business coach. Reach out to me if you need assistance in helping you find that voice. So we already talked a bit about day one and discussing how our lives would be better if we felt we had more confidence, or how do we feel, or how do we think our lives could be better if we had a greater level of confidence. I shared an experience that I had where I had an opportunity to attend an event in person, and I didn't because of a lack of confidence. I was not confident in my ability to be able to navigate being new in my environment here. I decided that what was best for me, I went with the gut feeling that I had, what was best for me to make me feel that I could still participate, but not feel uncomfortable to an extent where I wouldn't be able to focus on my learning. I decided to attend virtually. So I attended my event virtually. I still participated in ways that I can. And now I feel more confident and comfortable with the organization that produced the event. And I will most likely attend their next program in person. So today we're going to talk about 5 steps to help build and strengthen your confidence first. And number 1, believe in yourself. Know that these phenomenal thoughts that you have in your brain were put there for a reason, and they are put there because you have the ability to act on them. I truly believe that if these fantastic thoughts that are put into our brain were put there for a reason, that it wasn't just because we are frivolously thinking about something. It is because we know something in these thoughts were meant for us. If we're having these thoughts, it was for a reason. If I felt like I wanted to write a book, it was for a specific reason, because I needed to write a book. I truly believe that we are gifted these thoughts, we are gifted these desires to create great things because we were destined to do so. So believe in yourself. Number 2, know and appreciate your limitations. They are signifiers of an opportunity for growth, such as the experience that I shared with you all yesterday, where I wasn't feeling completely confident in going outside of my zone to be able to attend this rather large event, all solo and, not with a travel buddy. And I knew that was a limitation for me at that point in time. So what I did is I appreciated that fact. I recognized it, and I went with my gut feeling. I decided I would attend that program remotely so that I could still feel comfortable, I could still feel safe, and I could still focus on the learning and not on this limitation of feeling uncomfortable in a strange space. So know and appreciate your limitations and see them as an opportunity for growth. Number 3, challenge yourself. Yes, we will recognize those opportunities where there are limitations on what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, but it is also good to challenge yourself, challenge ourselves, provide that stretch opportunity. When you have a goal, there's three parts to every goal. If you didn't know this, I'm sharing this with you now. There are three parts to every goal. The first part is the minimum amount required to achieve the goal. Then there is like the medium level. You have accomplished the minimum expectations to achieve this goal, and you've done a little bit more. And then there's the stretch goal. The stretch goal is you have knocked that goal out of the park, and you're already a couple steps down the road to the next piece of accomplishing this task or accomplishing this goal. So challenge yourself with stretch goals. Know that when you decide you want to work on something, recognize there are going to be three parts to accomplishing your goal: the bare minimum, the yes, I accomplished my goal and I feel good about it. And then there's the stretch. So you accomplished that goal, you knocked it out of the park, and you're already on your way to accomplishing the next step or the next goal, or you're already in review. Because once we accomplish something, the next thing that we should consider doing is reviewing what we did and utilizing that process, as we go forth in the next goal that we want to accomplish, so that we can always learn from what we experienced in a previous opportunity. Number 4, recognize your accomplishments and the praise you receive. And I know this is hard. I know this is hard for us because someone will say, oh my gosh, you were so great at this. And our response is, oh no, thank you so much. But, it was just this, or it was just that. Accept the compliment. Someone says to you, wow, that was a really fantastic presentation. Your response, thank you. Thank you. Accept your accomplishments, accept your praise that people will give you. It is when someone makes a point to recognize you, when someone makes a point to congratulate you or to acknowledge some of the hard work that you have put out there, be a good recipient of that compliment. The gratitude is the next level of confidence. Thank someone for their praise of you, but don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss it to yourself. How many times do we do that? Where someone will say, oh my gosh, this was so amazing that you did, congratulations. And we reply with, thank you, but no more buts. Thank you. Or you could say, absolutely, thank you so much. I worked hard at that. And I am so glad that it worked out really well. I am so excited that it worked out phenomenally. Accept those praises. You deserve it. The work that you do deserves to be praised. It is why when I work with a lot of my clients, what we'll do is I will have them do a list 50 accomplishments. And that's harder than you might think. So what we are doing with several of my one-to-one coaching clients right now is we are talking about listing out your 50 accomplishments. Start with what you can think of right on the top of your head and write it down. I graduated from a program. I received a certificate. I wrote a book. I planned and traveled to this new destination I'd never gone to before. I did my first social media live. I did my first collaboration. I built my website. All of these things, all of these small to large things to momentous occasion, write them down as a list of your 50 accomplishments. And do this at least every year, at least once a year. Sit down with yourself and write up 50 accomplishments that you can recognize yourself for, that you are ready to receive praise for, because you deserve it. It is okay to toot our horns, ladies. We are entrepreneurs, therefore we are saleswomen. We, until we build our own big, beautiful teams of salespeople, we have to be comfortable with that. We have to be comfortable and confident in accepting praise and recognizing our accomplishments, because we do work hard for them. Number 5, visualize a confident version of yourself. Visualize a confident version of yourself. If this is something that you can do in your dreams, in your morning, getting ready for the day, over your cup of coffee, over, the next time you're about to walk into a meeting or you're about to hit go live on something, envision a confident version of yourself. Take a moment to pause so that you're able to look at who you are, the phenomenal woman that you are, the phenomenal entrepreneur and business person that you are, all of the things that wrap up and make up you. You're beautiful, bold, confident, loving, adorable, feminine, fantastic, maybe not so feminine if you're more on the more masculine woman side, any of those. Visualize a beautiful, confident version of yourself, and then open the door, walk through it, hit the live button. You can absolutely do this. I think when we believe in ourselves, take a moment to pause and to think about this. Believe in yourself. Get that power stance on, put those hands on those hips. Do that Wonder Woman stance. There is something to be said for that. It might make you laugh. It might make you smile. You might feel, this is ridiculous, Vihil. This is not something that I want to do. Try it. Even if you need to go in a space by yourself where no one sees you, absolutely try it, and just see what it does. It's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you loosen up. It's going to make you forget your worries or your stress. Always making yourself laugh a little bit before a presentation brightens up your face, brightens up your personality, and you go in as your authentic self. Know and appreciate your limitations. Be willing to push those limitations when you feel safe and confident to do so. Challenge yourself with stretch goals. Recognize your accomplishment. Write those 50 accomplishments down, babe. Write them down. And accept the praise you receive. When you get a compliment, your response is thank you. Don't dismiss those responses. Don't apologize when you do not need to be apologizing. Visualize a confident version of yourself and move forth through this amazing life, this amazing existence with these things in mind. Let's get to the next step. Please feel free. Hello, Ellie. Thank you for watching. Kelly Cruz, definitely feel this. I've avoided so many networking stuff because the challenge to put myself out there and feel awkward. I totally understand. I am not the best at small talk either. Thank you for pointing that out, Kelly. Thank you for posting that, because I am not the best at small talk. I'm really good at talking about my daughter. I'm really good at talking about my business. So find something that outside of your business that you love, whether it's a child, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your pet, whether it's, like for me personally, I love art museums. I love going to art museums. I used to, run an art gallery. I used to work at an art museum. And so that's my jam. That's my small talk. Become familiar with a topic that you love talking about, that it makes you smile, that it brightens you up when you talk about it, and use that as your small talk. If you're at an occasion where you're sitting around folks that you don't know, what I always like to do is just, hi, I'm Vihil. I work as a women's empowerment business coach. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Boom. You've opened the door, you've walked through it, you've handed the ball to, the next person in the court. And depending on what they come back with, it's just you find things to talk about. Recognize someone's glasses. Say that if you like someone's jewelry, comment on it. Give them those compliments. It really is good tips to sparking conversation. So I'm really glad that you posted that. Okay, next. Now, this one's going to be a little bit longer. So this is a big bulk of our presentation for today. 5 steps to eliminate your insecurities and elevate your confidence. Eliminate your insecurities and elevate your confidence. Insecurities down, confidence level up. Number 1, stop comparing other people's strengths to your weaknesses. Oftentimes, when our confidence level does not have a solid foundation, we create this vulnerable identity that is affected by situations that we are in and people that we are around. When entering social settings, we end up getting into this habit of recognizing what others are good at and how we don't match up. Sometimes, and unfortunately, we end up trying to identify where we are lacking in comparison to others. Over time, this particular process literally trains your brain to disregard your own strengths, causing undue stress, and it wreaks havoc on our own personal performance. So let's not do that. We're not going to do that. Alternatively, we must remember, start appreciating other people's strengths instead of seeing them as competition, and work on focusing on building your own strength. What I like to always say is surround yourself with people that are, that are brighter than you, that are further along in their business than you are. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room, babe. You need to be in a room where you can learn from your peers. If you are continuously moving up in your knowledge and your experience, then continuously grow your circle that you run in, your colleagues, your compadres, your comadres, your sisters, your jefas unidas, the women that you surround yourself with, the people that you surround yourself with, as you continue to elevate and escalate your own life. Continue to bring people into your life or seek out those people that you can continuously look up to. You are a reflection of those you keep company with. Consider that. We must start appreciating other people's strengths and stop seeing them as competition, but seeing them truly as what they are. They are potential mentors. They are people that you can look up to. They are people that you can collaborate with and connect with. Your brain learns from repetition. So begin doing this immediately, right now, today, right now, and over time it will become second nature. This new perspective will change your demeanor. It'll relax your mind, and it will help to regulate your emotions. Number 2, use insecurities to your advantage. Look at any insecurity that you have as a clue. Though not enjoyable, they are a symptom to a root cause. Recognizing where your thoughts, your feelings, and actions intersect in different areas of your life can uncover underlying issues. So ask yourself, how do you know when you're doing a good job? What has to happen in order for you to feel accomplished, happy, loved? Are these things happening in your life? How do you know when you're doing a good job? I say, how do I know when I'm doing a good job? Is because I feel fantastic after giving a presentation. I feel like I am accomplishing my goals, like I am moving the needle forward, that I am getting closer and closer to accomplishing the next task, the next thing. I am communicating my thoughts. I am sharing my ideas. I am providing education and training to my audience, the phenomenal women entrepreneurs that I work with on a consistent basis. That's how I feel I'm doing a good job. When I can pick up my little girl from school and come home and not be stressed and be excited to start dinner and go have our dinner plans, be excited to get to Girl Scout meetings, because the day went as planned because it was planned. Number 3, caring what other people think about you is good. Worrying what they think about you is pointless. I think it is important. I know oftentimes that you'll hear people say, don't care what other people think about you. Yes, but I think it's important that in some social settings, in some environments, it is okay. We want our peers to like us, to respect us. In social settings, many people determine their feelings and actions based on how others treat them. They rely on others to determine their own personal value and self-worth, and this is a limiting thought pattern that gives you no control over any situation. To eliminate this, first understand that if you are genuinely interested in others and treat them with respect, there isn't much more that you can do in the moment. Be confident that you put your best foot forward. And if it's not being reciprocated, you have the permission to move on. When you focus on your intention, that you are treating others with kindness, with respect, with equal sense of respect, you are projecting gratitude. You're projecting your confidence level. And if it's not being reciprocated, then simply move on. It is okay to move on from people. It is okay to put people in certain categories in our lives. There are certain people who will always be our cheerleaders, who will always cheer us up, who will always support us. There will also always be people in our lives who will second guess everything that we do, who will not believe in the things in which that we want to accomplish. And if those are people that you want to retain in your life, you need to put them into a little spot where you are not going to rely so heavily on their thoughts of you, on their opinions of you. You are going to take to heart those praises, those thoughts, those opinions that come from people that you feel are giving you the equal treatment that you give to them. It is okay to segment people in your life, especially as we go into the holiday season. That is something that will be very helpful. I believe that it's okay to want to, see some friends or some family members or, colleagues of colleagues that you might not necessarily run with on a consistent basis. It's okay to be polite and kind. I absolutely recommend kill them with kindness. Always be polite, always be the bigger person. Always, put yourself out there and be respectful. And if it's not reciprocated, then you know what you need to do. You just pivot and walk towards those people that treat you with respect, that treat you with kindness, because you deserve that. Number 4, you think people know more about you than they actually do. Perhaps you have an underlying sense of someone might know something about me that makes me feel insecure. If there is something that you are insecure about in your life, chances are you've spent a lot of time thinking about it. Every time something triggers that insecurity, you become abundantly aware of it. Understand that thinking about something in your life will condition your brain to pick up on hints in your environments that could potentially be relatable to this insecurity. But by being on high alert all the time, your brain becomes hypersensitive to everything as it tries to protect you. Over time, you often begin to think that other people can see your lack of confidence and are aware of your insecurities. You can reassure yourself that most of the time, no one actually knows what's going on inside your big, beautiful brain. You've just been living with this for so long that you see your insecurity reflecting in everything that people say and how they act about you. If this is you, if this is something that you experience, I want you to give yourself a particular day. Give yourself a particular day where you are going to take that insecurity and you are going to put it on the shelf, and it's going to stay there for the whole day. One set of 24 hours. Leave that insecurity on the shelf so that you can move forth in your day without having it sitting on your shoulder. And then the insecurity can stay up on that shelf for a week, and then for another week, and then for another couple of days. And ultimately, that insecurity, like a cloud, will dissipate. When you stop giving it your attention, it starts to dissipate. And slowly over time, it sits on the shelf and it just is absorbed and no longer something that is weighing you down. Acknowledge insecurities that you have. Think about them. Maybe talk about insecurities that you have with your coach, with your therapist, with a mentor, with someone who is in a position to encourage you and inspire you. Allow yourself the opportunity to be encouraged to grow by putting your insecurities on the shelf. Number 5, confidence comes from action, not necessarily from outcome. The first step to personal change is awareness. Now that you are aware of these underlying thought patterns, you can begin to take action. Remember that confidence is built in the action that you take, not the result it necessarily produces. So stop relying on the outcomes of situations or the reactions of others to determine if you can feel good or not. So for an example, if you are just having one of those super low confidence days, physically take action. Put on a funny, going to make you laugh, workout video. Put on some bachata music and get your hips moving. Put on some Zumba. Put on some old school jazzercise videos and let yourself crack up and physically move. Action will beget you that positive, confident level personality that you naturally have. I don't think that many of us, and as children, yes, we have a lack of confidence. We're unsure of ourselves. We're not sure if what we're doing is right. As adults, you will experience opportunities or times in your life when people will have tried to squash your confidence level. But as the intelligent, amazing, beautiful woman that you are, you know that by taking a little bit of action, you can turn those tables. You can turn the tide in your favor. Take that opportunity. Confidence comes from action, not necessarily outcome. So as a natural introvert, in the beginning of my speaking career, I was completely afraid of messing up on a public engagement. I was completely afraid of being interrupted by something, maybe a heckler in the crowd, maybe some technological difficulties like we experience today, or maybe thrown off my flow because I was asked a question that I didn't know how to answer right away. But with planning, before I had experience, I created an amazing response plan to those moments that once held me back, and you can do this too. So your response plan, for example, if you're in a public setting, you're at an event, you're in the corner because you're not socializing, because you don't know what to say, I want you to think about your most favorite thing in the world. Is it your child? Is it this new book that you're writing? Is it your love of visiting museums? Is it your love of going hiking, of traveling? I want you to start thinking about something that you really love. And then the next person that catches your eye or that walks up to introduce themselves, or that you walk up and say, "Hi, I'm new here. I just want to walk around and start introducing myself to people so that I stop standing against the wall." Call yourself out. It is okay to do that. It's something funny. It will lighten the mood, especially to this new person that you're introducing yourself to, and they can certainly relate. I'm sure that everyone has been a wallflower holding up the wall at some point in time. During a public speaking engagement, I have been interrupted, by a question that I wasn't ready for. It wasn't Q&A time, and I had, questions come at me. And it was a live TV presentation, and I had planned beforehand so that I knew if someone came up with a question that I didn't know, my response would be, "Ma'am or sir, what is your name?" And I would write their name down. And I would say, "Let's connect after, because I'd like to get your contact information. I don't know if I have the right answer for you now, but I know that I'm really good at doing my research, and I want to get back to you with an answer." Work up a response that you feel comfortable with, that you feel confident with, so that you're prepared, so that you don't have to retreat back into the wall if someone throws you off your flow, and that you can just continue with what is planned. And you will also now have a new learning experience that you can add to the learning experience book. And you know that the next time you put yourself out there for a presentation, for a conversation that you might be new based on its topic, you know what you can do to prepare. So I hope that this was a really inspiring presentation for day 2 of our Confidence Masterclass with me, your Women's Empowerment Business Coach, Vihil. I would love for you to share this, tag me in any of the screenshots at Empowering Vihil on Instagram. Please feel free to share this and tag me at International Women's Empowerment Business Coach, Miss Vihil Vigil on Facebook. I would love to continue to reach out and to help more women with their confidence levels. And every time you tag me, every time you comment in the conversation here in our fantastic Facebook group, you're entered into our drawing to win $1,000 towards a coaching program with the Empowerment Empire, also a copy of the book. And if you will be joining us in the pitch competition, here's more information on that. So Friday, November 4th is the pitch competition. If you are interested in participating, I want you to comment, "I'm in for the pitch," in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, that is absolutely all right. Still comment. If you're interested in being in the pitch competition, still comment, "I'm in for the pitch," and I will reach out to you so we can get you your scheduled time for Friday. These are the details. Introduce yourself and your business. Use storytelling to interest your audience. Prepare a stunning design presentation using 5 to 10 slides. Respect your time frame. You will have 3 minutes. Rehearse and be prepared. Like I mentioned on day 1, my favorite way to rehearse is do a Zoom recording of myself and then watch it. And then do a Zoom recording of myself and then watch it. It gives you the opportunity to see how you're presenting, how you're speaking, what your volume level is like, what distractions you may or may not have in your chosen environment to give your presentation. You learn a lot from watching yourself present. So take that opportunity to do that. So rehearse and be prepared. End on a memorable note. Give us something fun to remember you by. And then, of course, always provide your contact information. So if you're interested, comment, "I'm in for the pitch," to be included in the pitch competition. It will be held 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. It will be live in our Facebook groups. We will connect on Zoom, all of us, and then we will go live onto social media, and then you will be giving your pitch presentations. The prize winners, so the winners for Instagram tags, as well as the winner for our most engaged attendee, go through the presentation, provide your comments, place your questions, participate. The more you participate, the more that you are engaged in the confidence program, the more opportunity you have to win. See it as your goal to win the book, to win the $1,000 credit for the Empowerment Empire, to win the pitch competition. When you visualize your success, it more readily will come to you. And then, of course, the pitch competition winner receives also a copy of 100 Fantastic Affirmations to Inspire You, a $1,000 credit for Therapeutic Empowerment by Empowerment Empire programs, and the big extra prize for our pitch competition winner is a free ticket to one of our quarterly Businesswomen of Diversity Power Luncheons in 2023. Our ticket prices to attend are typically around $155 for 4 hours of education, plus guided networking over our famous cake, coffee, and conversation, gifts and prizes, and all sorts of fun things that come together with gathering in person with your peers. Phenomenal businesswomen of diversity. So I'm going to stop the share now, and I want to thank you for taking this opportunity to give to yourself. When you give to yourself, you are taking action to increase your confidence level, to increase your abilities to conquer the world. You can absolutely do it. I believe in you. This is a group for Latina entrepreneurs. Our other group is for empowered women. This is your community. We are your sisterhood. Through collective collaboration, we all rise. Post your comments. I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow at day 3 of the Free Confidence Masterclass with Miss Vihil Vigil, your International Women's Empowerment Business Coach. Have a fantastic day. Remember, rewatch the program, post all your comments, be an engaged participant, and win the prizes. Have a great day, everyone.